Shawna Karrasch here with another Ask Shawna answer. I'm coming to you from the Desert International Horse Park in Thermal, California. So out here by Palm Springs. So we're out here doing a Terra Nova event and we're having Terra Nova Tuesdays. So I'm just going to record from here. See, there's my logo. Okay. I have a question here from Sarah, and Sarah says, I just bought a horse and she's in quarantine. When I go to see her, she now pins her ears and turns her hindquarters into me and is kicked. How should I fix this? Okay, I think it sounds like, and of course this can be a lot of things, Sarah. It could be her worried about her environment, so she could simply be over threshold and feeling kind of defensive and worried about things around her. It could be that she is or feeling protective of her stall, that maybe now she's feeling a little territorial with this is my safe place and I don't know what to do. So, or it can also be a lack, and what I suspect, or what will definitely help, is probably a lack of exercise. So, is she's having too much energy and not enough free time, not enough grazing, not enough social time. She's probably just is going into being a little bit frustrated with the lack of freedom that she has there. So if there's a way, you definitely want to try to get her some exercise. And I know it's hard when they're in quarantine because we go see them and then we leave. You know, it's not like we're just going to hang out all day together. And it also isn't like you have all the freedom in the world. But if you could get her out, if you can do a couple times a day, or I don't know if you're riding her or lunging her or doing anything as she is in quarantine, but if you can do some of those things, and if she hasn't been doing it, just start it slow. I'd utilize a positive reinforcement for sure. So I'll get into that part in a bit, but build it up slow so that she likes what she's doing and she sees that it's safe and it builds a lot of confidence in her, but you're also letting her have some stimulation and you're letting her get out and do things. And I think the other thing to keep in mind, this is a statistic that's actually about humans, and with the human, it says like 80% of our brain power or our energy, our physical energy, goes to cognitive thinking. That's a ton. So if we can also challenge her mentally and help get her stimulated mentally, it'll take a lot of that physical energy and put it into a better place. So all of that is really important. So to address the mental energy, I would recommend that you do offer her things like there's treat balls and hay balls. So putting her, or a portagrazer is a great way to feed them, and it kind of has a puzzle quality to it because they can push it around. They have to turn the little basket inside, I don't know what to call it. And it does a lot to really help to have to puzzle out, how do I get this food? And it gives her something to do. So engaging her in some kind of foodie puzzles can be quite nice and quite engaging. And the food actually helps her to learn how to do the puzzle. You know, because if they don't know, they're like, that's nothing, I don't really care. But the food kind of gets them engaged and gets them into that seeking place where they're kind of playing a game with a reward involved, and it's something she can do without you. So having her feed from a hay ball or a portagrazer would be a great thing. Okay, so the other thing that is quite mentally stimulating, and this is going to kind of encompass where I touched on first. If you haven't done the positive reinforcement yet, starting the positive reinforcement is a great way to go. So you can go to my podcast, and you can find that from my website, www.on-target. You know what? Just Google Shawna Karrasch, and you're going to find my website. You're going to find Terra Nova Training Center's website. It'll just be easier. But on my On Target website, you're going to find that there is a tab, and that tab, you have a tab for Ask Shawna, you have a tab for the podcast, which is Equine Clicker 101. So the Equine Clicker 101, it has a number, I think we're at 29 episodes now. So it's been going, twice a month for a while now. But that first, second, and third episode are great things to do as you're getting started. Even the fourth episode, they're all lessons about getting started with positive reinforcement. So I'm going to really strongly recommend that you go there and listen to those things and follow those steps. That process alone is quite engaging. So if you haven't done positive reinforcement with her yet, I would start utilizing the positive reinforcement and helping her to get it's super engaging. When I was working with John and BZ Madden, sometimes you'd have a horse who's an Olympic show jumping horse or a international horse who's used to competing and going and super fit. And if they have an injury, all of a sudden they could be in the stall for 30 days. And that, it could be maddening for them. So utilizing the positive reinforcement and simple target training and turning their head away, those things were actually very engaging for them, and they stayed pretty sensible. So I think engaging her in that would be really important. But I do have a caveat. If she's turning and is kicked at you, you've got to start this basically from outside of her stall. So if you have a sliding door and you can't reach over or through, what I do is open the door this much and try to help her get her head away. So when she's standing and looking at you and weighing things and looking grumpy and maybe even turned her butt to kick you, I would just wait all that out, wait it out, wait it out. You're in protected contact for you, so you're in a safe place. As soon as she kind of comes back to you and she looks soft for a second, so even if she just goes, huh, I would click and reinforce that and start there. Once she can get, you even may start it by giving her a handful in her bucket first so that she kind of is a little satiated, and then maybe you can offer her food from this protected contact place until she gets the idea that this is what you're doing. So starting in protected contact can be good for both of you. It can be good for her because it is actually, you're not coming into her stall. If she's feeling a little protective of that space, a little resource guarding about her private space in her strange new world, then that is, you're kind of want to be safe in that place. But you're also saying, I'm offering you some positive reinforcement. I'm offering something that you like and enjoy. And a lot of times that softens and takes that defensive edge out of it. And then meantime, getting to be able to do some of the work with her. So utilizing the positive reinforcement for the work clearly is really a good idea, but it sounds like, so you need to get her out and get her some exercise. And if you can, give her exercise where she actually gets to run and, move around, whether it's lunging or riding or something, and she gets to move, or playing in an arena where she gets to actually move and burn some energy, but also take her for some hand walks. So I think we're having a couple of things here. I think the environment isn't the best and the easiest for her to cope with, and it's triggered some insecurities. Anyway, so engaging in the positive reinforcement, and if you've already gotten started with positive reinforcement, you know what this is, you're already on board, I would start doing things like teaching her to hold longer on the stationary target, to learn to identify different shapes. So you start with one shape and she gets to recognize that shape, then you introduce another shape, and pretty soon you're challenging her to think and identify and match. We call it match to sample. So she's matching this that you're holding to the like object on the wall or whatever it is. So if you want more about that, you go ahead and send me another Ask Shawna question and I will address that. But for now, I think we've kind of covered some bases there. So I hope that helps you out. If you still have questions, you know where to get a hold of me. You go to www.on-target-training.com, go to the Ask Shawna tab, and submit a question. So that's for you or anybody else listening. The other thing is you can also find out what we're doing out here at Terra Nova. Well, not here because I'm in California, but at Terra Nova, what we're doing there, what our schedules are, what my schedule is, what we're up to. So you can sign up for our newsletter there, and that is terranovatrainingcenter.com. And again, if you Google Shawna Karrasch, you'll find both of those resources. Anyway, so I hope that helps you out. Let me know how you're doing and if you have further questions. And until then, enjoy getting your horse on target. Bye-bye.